A January 6 rioter who was photographed with his feet propped up on a desk in then-Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office, and later tried to cash in on the picture, was sentenced Wednesday to 4.5 years in prison. A photo of Richard Bygo Barnett in the California Democratic office in 2021 has emerged as one of the defining images of the Capitol turmoil. Shortly after his arrest, Barnett offered autographed photos of the location for $100, prosecutors said. And when FBI agents came to question him, he put his feet on the table again and commented, "Does this look familiar?" Barnett was defiant during his trial this year, during which he lied about the circumstances of the photo and many of his actions at the Capitol. In social media posts as recently as last week, he criticized federal prosecutors as demon-possessed cretins sick, and called the police officers who were at the Capitol that day thugs. A federal court jury convicted Barnett in January of 4 felonies, including obstructing official proceedings, and 4 misdemeanors. Prosecutors said Barnett carried a walking stick along with a 950,000-volt stun gun and a 10-pound metal flagpole into the Capitol, and threatened to take the police with him. But he did not attack any officers. Prosecutors are seeking more than 7 years in prison for Barnett. But D.C. federal judges showed little interest in prosecutors' recommendations, rejecting them nearly 80% of the time in January. 6 charges, a Washington Post analysis shows. U.S. District Judge Christopher R. Cooper, who overturned the government's recommendation in more than 82% of the sentences he handed down on January 6, did so again Wednesday, ruling that the sentence was enhanced because of the risk of injury to police officer, increasing the sentence from 11 to 14 months into Barnett's possible term was too drastic. Cooper failed to comply with the voluntary sentence recommendation of 71 to 87 months, and prosecutors sought an 87-month prison sentence, with 54 months in prison and 3 years of supervised release. As of January 6, the average sentence for those charged with obstruction of justice was about 42 months. According to Post data, Barnett was also allowed to leave the courtroom and turn himself in at his own convenience. Unlike most criminal trial judges in the United States, federal judges in D.C. on January 6 mostly allowed defendants to turn themselves in later after sentencing, unless they are already in custody. In most criminal courts, defendants sentenced to prison are immediately taken into custody. Barnett also asked to be assigned to train dogs at a South Dakota prison, and while Cooper said choosing a prison is not the same as choosing a hotel, he accepted the recommendation. Barnett, 63, is a retired firefighter and former bull rider from Gravette, Ark. Prosecutors said he had been preparing for his trip to Washington for weeks, posting sentiments about his planned visit, such as "I'm not going easy, do whatever it takes." He also shared a digital flyer promoting Operation Occupy the Capitol, with the caption, "Taking back our country from corrupt politicians."